Hey everybody, what's up? It's Kyle and KZ.
More people get their voice out there, then I think they'll realize like we're all the same, really.
KZ decided, let's do it. Took the bait, so here we are.
Veteran Chat Project.
Where it's encouraged to not be okay all the time. Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Kyle.
And KZ.
And we are the Veteran Chat Project, and we are coming at you with another episode. We got another one of our Army buddies here, somebody that we served with, but didn't have the fortune of serving with for too long. He was attached to us through the engineer company on our second deployment, out here doing some just fucking awesome artwork all across. You can see it. It's right behind him sitting there. You can even see some of it sitting behind me all the time. Without further ado, Ghost Custom Art Gerardo Cazares. I hope I said it right. What's up, brother?
You almost got it. Yeah,
almost got it.
I mean, you said it like a white dude, but that's okay.
That's what I am.
I've been used to it. Yeah. and that's why I'm not mad. It's like, that's how they say it.
I got the tongue thing. It doesn't do that. I'm not.
It's all right, man. It's genetics, bro. So
it's not my fault, but it's all love though. I tried.
Of course,
it's like the white chick at the Mexican restaurant, like hola.
absolutely. So I'm just like, they're trying. It's all good. It's cool.
Correct me then. What is it? Let's hear it. The correct way.
Gerardo Cazares.
See, I can't do that.
You can't do it. It's all good, man. It's
Gerardo Cazares. It's almost there.
Yeah.
See,
it's almost sexy. That's why you can't say it, dude.
That's what I mean. I wasn't chosen.
And so that kind of goes into like, all right, that's why I go by a different name, right? Because it's just I can't. Ghost looks way cooler on a fucking t-shirt. It looks way cooler on stickers. It looks way cooler on just like the way I sign my murals is Ghost. So like it's a fucking cooler, more marketable name. It's slick. So
hell yeah.
My birth name, my given name, the one that my mom gave me is it's from my family and my very, very close friends that I grew up with. But everything else, I have different names for different sections of people that I've known throughout my life. So the Army, it was Cazares or Cazares. Everybody called me Cazares in the Army. And when I became an NCO, it was Sergeant C because nobody could say my name. So it was Sergeant C later on when I became an E5. So, but now it's Ghost. Now it's Dad when I'm at home, Daddy. So
that's your favorite one
with the artwork. What, Daddy?
Daddy, yeah, Dad.
Yeah, it's the one that makes me feel the most. I don't know. It's the most rewarding name. There we go.
Absolutely.
So it's the name that reminds me of like, man, why am I grinding like this? Why do I work so hard? Why do I wake up in the morning and get after it the way I do when I'm exhausted? Well, because I got people that are relying on me. It's my damn job, man. It's my purpose now. So
hell yeah. Purpose, man. That's something we talk about a lot. And usually falls in that same category, dude. Family is that purpose now, for us after the military. A lot of us, some of us aren't as, fortunate to be in that position. And, for those of us that do have that purpose, it's it's awesome to hear that and to know that, our battles are doing good. It's fucking dope. I love it.
Yeah. Speaking of which, man, you guys look great. You guys aren't like 200 fucking pounds fatter or anything like that. You guys haven't gained too much fucking weight. Some motherfuckers, they just let themselves go immediately.
Hey, I tell everybody like when I got out, I was like a $195, and I told my wife, I was like, don't bother me. I'm gaining at least 200 pounds, and when I can't move, then I'll go to the gym. I was like, I've been working out nonstop for 9.5 years, so
just cultivating mass.
I'm just gonna sit here and just not work out until I get to unhealthy. And I actually got there. I remember walking up the stairs, was like, "Fuck, my chest hurts." Oh, I'm almost 300 pounds. All right, it's time to go do something.
Yeah, it's time to do a little bit of
It's got to do something. Oh
Shit,
man.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. I think I've gained, I don't know, like 25 pounds in the last 7 years. The last 6, 7 years, I've gained
Yeah, that's
some
that that's that
weight
dad weight.
because, yeah, that's what I was gonna say, man. I think it was more because I started having kids and stuff. So
You got more of the snacks
nature,
around.
yeah, nature just like has you put on a little bit more weight, but I haven't let myself go too much, man. I still try to get after it a little bit. Still go do some cardio if you'll go fucking run a couple miles every now and then. But yeah,
Hell
man,
yeah.
you guys, fantastic. Got your beard going. Got your fucking
Yeah,
right
yeah,
there.
it's my North Dakota face shield, dude. It's still winter. So actually, a little fun fact. I was listening to the news. They were talking about the weather, and this. So was it March, April? Was the coldest March, April on record, as like the coldest 5 winters in North Dakota history. It was the number 4, and the only 2 of the ones, and then okay, so one was 2013 that was colder, and then the other 2 before that were in the 1800s. So yeah, this is my North Dakota face shield, and as soon as it gets warm, I'm going to be probably de-shedding it because it's also coming out the back of my hat. And
Yeah.
I live in the middle of nowhere, so I mean, there's one barber in town. We don't get along because I used to work at their bar and I quit because it was nasty. I won't go there, but it was like Kitchen Nightmares nasty, and I don't fucking play that shit. I'm a professional.
Yeah.
I'd rather cook at home. I'd rather cook at home for a 2-year-old.
That sounds.
But shit, man.
That sounds
So what's
fucked up,
new?
man.
What's that? Oh yeah, it's real fucked up. I got pictures to prove it in case anybody wants to.
Oh man, where do I begin? Fuck.
Yeah,
Where
so
do I begin? Let's
we can
structure
start
this
you
shit.
off, with an easier question than what's up, what's new. Let's just where you at in the world these days?
Well, as I was talking to your boy over here a few minutes ago, my job allows me to. My job sends me all around this freaking beautiful nation of ours. I'm in Charlotte, North Carolina right now. I've been in North Carolina for like basically the last 2 months. Before that, shit, what the fuck was I? I've been to Oklahoma, been to Pittsburgh, Ohio, Kentucky, California, New Mexico, Chicago, various parts of this freaking country doing this job. And it's called battery technician, and we're a contractor for T-Mobile, and I work on the T-Mobile sites, and I switch out their backup batteries on their every cell tower that you see out there has backup battery cabinets down there at the bottom of it, and those need to get switched out every now and then. So I'm the guy that I drive around and I do that. So
That's not a bad deal. Probably good.
it's not a bad gig at all. I've been doing it for about a year and a half now, and I travel a fuck ton for this job. I get homesick. It sucks sometimes, I'm just like, fuck. Especially if I'm somewhere in the middle of like say if they send me to North Dakota, the middle of fucking nowhere. I really want some badass tacos or some badass fucking,
You're gonna find them
Texas
here.
style
You're gonna find a
barbecue.
bunch of dudes that say your name like I did that make tacos.
Yeah,
They're
and
fury of
so
tacos,
that
dude.
yeah, so that it starts to take effect after a little while, but that's about
Yeah.
it. That's the biggest. I miss my kid or whatever. I'll see some cool shit, and I'll be like, oh fuck, like, if my kid was here, they'd be freaking out because that's fucking awesome over there or something. But anyway, other than that, when I'm at home, I'm doing regular dad shit, honey-do list, projects around the house. Because what do we love to do when we're not working? Fucking work projects at the house, right? So
Yeah.
I'm working projects at the house, and mowing the fucking lawn, and keep it because you got to mow the lawn every week and a half in Texas, man. And so, what else? Painting a fuck ton, even when I'm on the road. So this is like my road paintings. This is the kind of stuff that I'm doing in my hotel room after I come home from work, and I'm fucking in my hotel room, and my hands start like I start doing this. I'm watching TV. Fuck, I gotta paint something, right? So that's what this is. Can't
Holy
sit around
shit.
for too long.
When did you I didn't really know that you were an artist. Obviously, like I said, bringing you in, we didn't really know each other too much during service, you know. So like I guess I didn't really know that you were an artist. So when did you kind of start doing that? Obviously, probably pretty young.
The painting or just art in general?
Yeah, like when did you like first like realize that you were dope at fucking doing art?
uh, I don't know about dope. I don't know about awesome. I've always really, I mean, since I was a toddler, since I was using crayons, I've really enjoyed just fucking sitting there and paying attention to the details of like lines and forming shapes and the figures and all that kind of shit. So since I was old enough to draw with crayons, I've just been creating and creating nonstop, just practicing with the, as I got older, the mediums would change. So I got into color pencils, and then later I got into markers. Then later I got into pencil, graphite pencil, charcoal pencil. Then later I got into charcoal, and then I guess charcoal is kind of like where it stopped for a little bit. Um, I can draw the shit out of something with some charcoal, man. I mean, give me a piece of charcoal, I can fucking like kill it with some charcoal. It's fucking badass. I love that dry medium. And then I joined the army, and then in the army, obviously, the army loves to fucking design T-shirts. They love to design fucking logos and imagery and fucking morale boosting kind of shit, like all constantly, all the time. And so I was always the guy that was like that was chosen for a fucking first sergeant detail or sergeant major detail. Hey, we need a new fucking platoon logo or a platoon T-shirt, or a fucking sergeant major is looking for artists who can fucking design the next fucking whatever regimental
Yeah.
T-shirt or some shit. And so I would always be the guy that everybody. I never fucking volunteered for any of this shit, right? I never was like, oh, pick me, pick me. It was my platoon that it was like, oh yeah, fuck this guy, because it was like a huge. It was no secret that I like to draw. Like I always had a sketchbook with me. I was always drawing shit. I was always showing people my drawings and stuff, and so everybody knew it was no fucking big secret that I was this like that I was artistic, and especially in my barracks room, people would come to my barracks room. I'd have my drawings and shit all over the walls, and they're like, "Oh, that's fucking dope. You should do this, and you should pursue that." And and so that was always going on the entire time I was in the army. That's why fucking I got picked to help on that big ass fucking mural that we did at Squadron. So that's why I did our platoon's little wall section right there.
Yeah, we painted
what
our
else?
little cheesy me and him actually painted our platoon's part. It was we just projected it up there though and painted by numbers.
We
Yeah,
cheated.
that's fine. That is a very no, don't say it. It's not cheating. It's not cheating. You're using a modern tool to help you do a job. All right. What else? Painting. So I started painting when I got out. When I got off of active duty. So I got off of active duty at the end of 2014. No, fast forward. Let's say summer of 2015. Summer of 2015 is when I started really like taking it a little bit more seriously, because I got out. I got off of active duty and I came back home, and I just fucking fell flat on my face, man. I didn't have a plan at all, and started fucking having issues right off the bat, man. Just fucking everything kind of just crashed and burned, went downhill for me, man. Nothing was like I was imagining it was going to be like. I thought it was going to be a little bit easier, I don't know, a little bit like smoother transition. Fuck no, it was the worst transition in the history of fucking transitions, man. And so I was without purpose now. I was without a mission. I didn't have any mission. I didn't have a purpose. I didn't have that prestige anymore, that self-respect, or like I wasn't putting on a uniform that kind of like I would walk into a building and I would get greeted, or I would command some kind of fucking authority or respect, and I was in charge of people, and that wasn't around anymore. right? So I was an average Joe. Now, you ever see fucking Eastbound and Down? You ever watch that
Yeah.
fucking shit? Eastbound and Down? I kind of compare it to that. I compare it to like, dude, the Kenny Powers, man. Kenny Powers used to be hot shit, right? He used to have this uniform and everybody wanted a piece of my shit, right? Like I was hot shit, right? And now you're just this fucking washed up, like has been. Nobody gives a fuck about you. Nobody knows who you are, right? Nobody's recognizing you or none of that shit. You're just a regular, like fucking nobody and nobody cares, right? And so that's kind of how like the I guess it's an ego thing. It messes with your ego. You're like, fuck, dude. Like, and so there's no structure anymore. And gosh, man, and I don't know. I just started losing my fucking mind, dude. And what else? So, long story short, I guess I was trying to find like an outlet, and I had never taken art seriously. Art was always just a hobby. I did it on the side, right? Obviously, I had my little sketchbook and my little markers and shit always, and I never really took it seriously. It was something to just pass the time throughout my entire life. But it was never anything that I would ever expect to do full time and do as a way to, I don't know, earn money or whatever, to sell. I never expected to sell any artwork ever in my fucking life, right? It was never the goal for me. And so when I started doing it, when I started painting, it was more like it was more of an outlet. It was more a therapy for me, and I started to just get my ideas out and get my images out and all the negativity, I guess, negative forces and thoughts and all that kind of shit. I was just kind of getting it out on a canvas, and soon enough, I guess people around in my circle and family members being supportive, like everybody's trying to be supportive around you, like especially when you have like lifelong friends and stuff. They used to say, "Those are really fucking good, man. Those are awesome. You should try and set up tables and go to like little pop-up art shows and sell that stuff." And me being the way I was back then, like, fuck no, are you kidding me? Nobody's gonna want any of this shit. This is garbage, right? This is trash. What I'm painting here or what I'm doing, it's trash. No one's gonna want this bullshit, right? And they would insist, like, no, like that shit is fucking awesome. What you did right there in that little 10 minutes or whatever is fucking badass, and people would love that shit, and I guarantee people would buy it. And so I was just skeptical about it the entire time, and one day I just got the I don't know, the itch to do it, I guess, just to kind of appease everybody, appease the math. Yeah, and I said,
fuck it, dude, let's just do this shit.
Yeah, so I got my table and had a few paintings, and they were, God, man, looking back, like I remember the paintings that I had, and they're fucking terrible. They were bad, like to me, my standards, I guess. I was like, fuck, dude, this is not gonna happen. And so what I started noticing right away, I would set up my shit. I would be in my little corner, just kind of crossing my arms away from everybody. I don't want anybody to really talk to me, right? I just kind of did this whole like, yeah, not in the mood. I don't really want to do this. I'm just trying to see what's going to happen, right? And so what started happening was one after another, people started coming towards my shit, like gravitating towards my little display area. And they were really magnetized towards the shit, and started asking me questions like, oh man, that's fucking cool. What is this one about? Like, this is fucking awesome. I could see this reminds me of this and that. And it was just a bunch of people just trickled and just kind of gathered around my shit and talked about it. Can I take a picture? Can I take a picture with my phone? This is cool. I'm gonna send it to my friend. And that kind of blew my mind a little bit. I was like, oh, this is fucking weird. Are these people fucking with me or something, right? And
Right.
So I think it's like beginner's luck, right? Oh, it's beginner's luck. People are just kind of being nice for no reason, I guess. I don't know. And so I started doing it more. I started doing it another one and another one and another one. And yeah, and it was positive feedback every single time. And so I think that positive reinforcement gave me that extra push or that extra kick to that told me like, man, I could really start doing this, like for real. I could take this a little bit more seriously. People could really, or I could actually turn this into something, um, something tangible or something lucrative or whatever. This could be like my new little job for myself because it does kick ass. I mean, I do enjoy the process of doing it. It's really great for getting some ideas out and down on a canvas. And if some people enjoy it enough to give me, fucking $40 for it every now and then it's a win. It's a win in every avenue of approach that I looked at it. And I had nothing else to lose at the time, man. I mean, it was just fucking, let's do this, let's go for it. And so then shortly after that, I started doing live art. So like I said, I would set up a table and I would have stuff displayed on the wall. But then when I started doing live art, that's when I actually really started learning how to sell my art and learning how to present myself to the public and talk to the public and talk to people, because before that, I didn't have any of those fucking skills.
Right.
Before
And
that, I would
ultimately,
just,
I mean, you're selling yourself as much as you're selling the art at that point. Like you're up there,
yeah,
and then, yeah, I bet that live shit, I bet just being able to sit there and even probably just to zone out a little bit while people are coming up to you talking probably would help you too. Me, I'd be like, I wouldn't like having like a million people, like you said at first, like having all these people coming up to talk to you. But I bet, bet that got better, like you said, as people started coming up to talk to you, but like in a way that was like inquisitive, like they want to know more about what you're doing. And then, yeah,
yeah.
tell us more about that
It
live.
was
live art.
I mean, it didn't happen right away. It wasn't like a magical, like fucking
Right.
instant thing. It was like a
Nothing
gradual
fast.
thing. So I started setting up at this little place near downtown that hosted live art shows every single weekend. It was known. It was like, hey, you should go set up at this place. They always have artists down there. There's always people painting live. You should go check it out. Okay, cool. So I went to go check it out and immediately started meeting other artists, other people that were in the same, line of work, I guess. And man, these guys were good. They were fucking like they had some legit work out there. It was fucking badass. And I remember just saying like, "Fuck, I gotta up my game, man. I gotta like that's fucking awesome. I want to go ask that guy how the fuck he did that, or how does he get this effect, or like." I would watch them other dudes set up with their easels, right? Because they would set up an easel, they'd set up the lights and everything and be there. Like imagine you're at a bar or a brewery and some dude is fucking painting over there. Okay, and that's what we used to do. That's what I used to do. And so these dudes would produce these fucking like badass pieces live in front of your face as you're there drinking your beer. And fuck, I couldn't paint that fast. I couldn't paint that accurate, right? Like they were doing portraits and shit in like fucking an hour, you know what I mean? And they were cranking out these badass pieces and they were selling them right there on the spot. They were just like, boom, how much? And people, because I would overhear them talking to people that would come up to them. Dude, that is fucking amazing. How much is that one? $450. And they would sell it right there.
Yeah.
And I'd be like,
Like,
fuck these guys, man. I'd be like, fuck that guy. But I started becoming friends with them. I started getting to know these other guys, these other artists that were down there, and they gave me a lot of tips and pointers, and they really taught me some good shit. And I kind of learned from those guys, and that's why I say
awesome.
that's kind of where I really started learning how to fucking paint and learning how to sell my shit. Okay, learning how to speak to people and present myself. Because you can't fucking knife hand people when you're fucking asking you about your paintings, bro. Because that's what I was doing before, right? Because that's kind of like how I would speak to people before when they were asking about paintings, like, the whole like cross arms fucking NCO thing, and it's a very fucking unfriendly way. That's a very quick way to like put people off and get people to walk the fuck away from you, right? So you have to learn another technique of speaking. You have to learn how to really, I don't know, be fucking courteous and be friendly to your potential customers out there. And so the live art really, really taught me that shit. I started learning really fast. I was kind of immersed in that world, right? So I was no longer just by myself painting in my fucking apartment by myself, right? As I was before. I was now in an environment where I was surrounded by like 10 other motherfuckers that were doing the same thing. And we kind of like picked off of each other, and I would learn from a lot of those guys. And it was really cool. They kind of just like welcomed me and took me in. And from there I just started getting commissions and getting hired to do fucking portraits of people's, relatives and stuff like that. A lot of military shit because they would see my paintings out there. There was a lot of combat stuff, a lot of military stuff, and I would draw in that crowd. And so that crowd, those are the ones that got me to draw fucking, their uncle that was in the fucking Vietnam War or some shit like that. And the more I did it, the more I learned. And then I started doing the Texas gun shows. The gun shows were fucking awesome. That was my bread and butter. That was probably like my favorite part of. That taught me more. That taught me more about sales, more about networking. I really started networking a shitload more at those gun shows. I did it off of it was kind of like a risk that I took. I was taking a big risk because I didn't know how I was going to be received at these gun shows, because it's all fucking guns. Like, who the fuck sets up an art booth at a gun show? Nobody. And so I was like, well, that might be cool. That might be a good idea. That's might be exactly why I want to fucking do it. Because nobody's gonna fucking do it, right? I'm not expecting anybody to fucking be
A
there.
lot of veterans go to
artwork,
gun
right?
shows. It's not a bad
lot,
idea.
And a lot of combat veterans go to art shows, and combat veterans, I have found that they were digging the artwork at that time, and turned out to be one of the greatest fucking gambles that I had ever taken, man. It was a great idea. I mean, it fucking right off the bat, it just instant success, those gun shows. So it was a monthly thing. First weekend of every month, I would set up my table. I would pay the fucking $70 for the weekend to set up my 8-foot table, and I would sit there and I would paint there at the gun show. I would set up my easel, set up something like this, and fucking just sit there all day and knock something out. The reason I did that, it's a sales thing too. The reason I did that is because motherfuckers don't believe it is your shit sometimes. They don't. They question it. They're like, whose paintings are those? They're my paintings. Really? Really? You painted all these? Yes, motherfucker, I painted all these. And so what I started doing to mitigate that was, okay, motherfucker, okay, let me show these fucking people.
Yeah.
I'll set up my shit and I would start. Yeah. And so like, there's no fucking question about it. Like, this is my shit. And so that really, and plus it's kind of a spectacle. It draws people in. It gets people's attention. Oh, hey, look, that guy's over there painting. What the fuck is he painting? Let's go talk to that guy. Right. And so, little tricks like that. And that's where I started selling the prints too. I sold a shitload of prints at those gun shows because people take their children to gun shows, which is great for me because children love like that rabbit that you got back there, the fucking Tim Burton characters and the Jokers and the fucking
I got that
some of
one
the
too.
wicked fucking characters that I've had.
And the Johnny Cash one I have too.
There you go. So the kids not only love that, but the adults love that shit too. And I would always sell them in bundles, and I would sell those fucking things like hotcakes, man. It was fucking great. So the gun shows were fucking amazing. They were my bread and butter there for a while. That's how I got more gigs. I got more mural gigs from that one. What else? 2020, it started really kicking off for me. Fucking COVID, man. COVID shat the bed as far as like the economy, the American economy, and the global economy, and the global fucking supply chain just got all fucked up. And I
just
thought
people in
that,
general just didn't really survive after like going dark for a year. They're just like, they come out like, what the fuck is this? I want to go back inside.
Yeah.
And then now they're mad at everybody because they got to go outside.
Yeah. So COVID really put society in a fucking pressure cooker. you see which ones pop and which ones can handle some shit like that. But anyway, 2020, it was fucking tough for everybody, obviously, but I thought my business was gonna fucking tank, and I thought I wasn't gonna sell shit for that entire year, but I was wrong. I think that's the most murals I've ever painted in 1 year. I painted like fucking shitloads of murals that year because think about it. A lot of people had to close their bars and close their restaurants. They said, well, since we're closed, why don't we have somebody come and fucking paint this wall here? Because we got some stimulus checks. We got a little bit extra cash now. So let's hire somebody in. And so I did several of those. Had
Awesome.
several gigs. Grunt Style was at the end of 2020, right? Yeah, that was the end of 2020. It was when I did that fucking big ass Grunt Style one, and then from
that thing
there,
looked huge.
from that one, yeah. So from that first one that I did, they hired me. They then later on hired me to do 2 more for them, and I continue to do work with them to this day. We're still doing projects. We did like a t-shirt release where I had 3 different t-shirts or 3 different designs on 3 t-shirts. They dropped them and sold a shitload of them with my designs on them. So that was fucking cool.
That's cool as fuck.
So this whole fucking journey has taken a long fucking time. It's been long. It's been a long rough march to get to this point. But yeah, you keep grinding. I'm here. And, it's fun. It's some good shit. I mean, that's how I met my wife. It's how I met my wife. I met my wife at one of my art shows.
Oh, sweet, dude.
So I dig it, man. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, that's fucking awesome.
I mess with her all the time. I mess with her all the time, man, about that shit. I'm like, chicks dig artists. Chicks dig artists. And she's like, whatever. Fuck. What chicks? What chicks dig art? You. She gets mad as fuck, dude. She hates it. She's like, whatever. Fucking shut the fuck up. Okay. All right. Okay.
Love it.
It's good
It's
stuff.
fucking awesome. Yeah. Oh man. So I know you mentioned that transition period, and I know that's something that we kind of focus on here.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, as much as you're willing to kind of go into that, I mean, what was that like? So you get out, what you said, 2015, and it was kind of rough time, and we
Yeah,
kind of
so
found where your purpose, but what got you where, what was that path like?
it was fucking terrible. It was the darkest part of my entire life. I got out end of 2014, so like my terminal leave started around Thanksgiving 2014. That was my terminal leave. So my terminal leave ended like February 2015. So terminal leave is your fucking honeymoon phase, right? That's when you're fucking floating, you're flying through the clouds during terminal leave. That's the greatest fucking feeling in the world. You're free. You don't have to wake up for fucking PT anymore. I don't have to go wake up at 04 to go wake up my fucking soldiers anymore. I don't have to do any urinalysis anymore. No fucking layouts, no motor pool Mondays, no PowerPoints, no fucking bullshit, no fucking stupid shit anymore. I don't have to go to the field. Nothing. You're free. It's great. It's a honeymoon phase right there. Terminal leave, greatest feeling in the world. That lasted for about 3 months for me. Still getting paid by the Army, like free as fuck, doing whatever the hell I wanted to do. It was fan-fucking-tastic. I remember that. I was going to concerts. I was fucking partying. I was living it up, dude, when I got home. It was great. And then terminal leave ended. And then reality set in very, very quickly. Very quickly, reality set in. I was like, oh, shit, I guess I'm not on leave. I'm not going back. Because every other terminal leave or every other block leave that I had taken in the Army, you're going to go back. It's going to end. It's going to end. And you're going to go back to your unit and you're going to go back to fucking PT and all that other stupid shit. And you're going to go back to it after fucking 30 days or whatever, after 45 days, whatever you take. It's going to end and you're going to go back, right? Terminal leave ends and I don't have a plane ticket. I don't have a flight anywhere. I'm not going back. that's it. It's over. You're not at the. You're here. Like, this is your home now. This is where you stay, and this is my life now. And I guess the kind of shock started fucking kind of wearing off a little bit, or the reality started setting in, and I was like, oh shit, okay. Well, I'm on my own now, right? I don't have any guidance on what the fuck I'm gonna do. I just kind of gotta figure everything out for myself now, and I don't really know what the fuck I'm gonna do. I didn't have a plan. I didn't have anything set up. I didn't have a job lined up. I didn't have anything planned. I didn't have a plan at all. I knew that I was kind of burnt out on the whole line, on the line life, right? And I didn't want to do that anymore. But when I got home, I didn't think ahead of time, like, okay, well, what the fuck do you want to do when you get home? Because like, you got to hit the ground running, man. Like, you got to have something. I didn't have anything lined up, and so I got home, moved back in with this chick that I had moved back to San Antonio for, and immediately that fucking relationship just started. We started having issue after issue. We started fighting. It was like a horrible mixture. It was like fucking water and oil, man. Argument after argument. I would come home at the end of a day, right? Oh yeah. So let me back up. Sorry, let me back up. I'm kind of remembering it all like choppy.
Oh no, you're good.
I started a semester at the local community college because I wanted to use my GI Bill, go to school, and do
It's
that
a nice
thing.
first move. If you don't know what you got, what the next move is, it's always
Yeah,
good.
right.
Right, that
Yeah.
GI Bill, like, fuck, I guess I just go to school, get some money.
Yeah, I guess I'll just go to school and just do that full time and focus on that, right? Wasn't really passionate about it. Wasn't really, didn't give a shit about education, but I was like, you know what, just might as well. I mean, I have that going for me, so let me just stick with that. So I was just winging it at this point. And so I would come home and I noticed that I was very uneasy. I didn't want to be there. I didn't want to be at my apartment. I didn't want to be interacting with my significant other at the time. Oh yeah, she would come home from work and she'd be all stressed the fuck out, and I didn't want to listen to it. I didn't want to hear it. I didn't want to be there. I would turn off the TV and I would like drive to a fucking bar somewhere and I'd get fucked up. And I wouldn't return home until fucking, I don't know, 1:30 in the morning. I would close that fucking bar out every single weekday. Like 7 days a week, I would close some fucking bar out, and because I was trying to avoid sitting there and speaking with somebody else, which is fuck. Like I could have just done that, right? I could have just stayed the fuck there and just like talked it out, but I wasn't in that mindset yet. There was no
Yep.
fucking way I was gonna sit there and like express myself to somebody else at that time. Like there's like absolutely no way. So what I would do is I would get the fuck out of there and I would go get fucking drunk somewhere, and I would come back wasted as fuck, staggering through the door, and she'd be up, she'd be waiting for me. She'd be in the kitchen or something with the fucking lamp on or the TV on or something, and like it would be like a short little interaction. Where the fuck have you been? Or I've been fucking trying to call you, or I've been trying to text you something, and like I'd say something shitty to her real quick and drop face first on the bed and pass the fuck out. And that went on for a good 3 months, 4 months, right? This is the girl that kind of stayed, I don't know, that kind of waited for me while I was in Germany. I was in Germany for like 3 years. Before that, when I was in Hood, I was dating her. I was dating her while I was at Hood for like that year and a half until we deployed. Kept in contact with her, and then I got back and I was like, hey, I re-enlisted. I'm going to go to Germany for 3 years. So I'll see you when I get back. And she was like, all right. And so long story short, we kept in contact and everything. And so that's kind of how the whole reason why I went back home to be with her, and thought it was going to be great. Thought it was going to be awesome. But it was just this fucking horrific piece of shit of a relationship. And because it was a lot of what I was doing, a lot of my behavior. because I was having a lot of trouble kind of dealing with the fact that, like, fuck, man, this is, the army's not, I'm not in the army anymore. Like, this is me now, and I'm gonna have to deal with real life now and be a real adult and do shit for myself now, because I don't have 8 different bosses like I did back in the unit. What else? Was I having trouble with? I was having fucking terrible nightmares, and that's why I was drinking a lot too. I was drinking because the military and life doesn't teach you how to have some sort of other outlet, right? Because when you're in the military, what does everybody go do after a shitty field problem or a shitty day at work? What does everybody go do? Everybody goes and gets fucked up.
What
And
do they
that's how
do
everybody
after a
deals.
good day too?
What do they do after a
day.
good day? To go celebrate? Yeah, yeah, exactly. And so that was the one and only tool, or one and only outlet that I ever knew that I could have after whatever, if I, good day, bad day, celebratory, whatever. So that's the one thing that I relied on. Even I carried that over to the civilian world for a little bit. And in the civilian world, when you're the only motherfucker drinking, when you're the only dude fucking coming home all fucked up like that at the end of the night, it's not as cool anymore. You're not with your 10 other bros celebrating or whatever. You're alone, and you're with this person that's trying to, like, be there to help you out in any way they can, but you're not about it. And where the fuck was I going with this? What was I talking about? Trying to concentrate here. I'm trying not to ramble
No,
too much.
it's all good, man. It happens. I know. I noticed it the other day when I was talking about some shit. You get kind of wrapped up in the feelings you weren't. I mean, you just haven't felt in a
Oh,
while. Start
so I
thinking
was
shit.
trying to say that sort of fueled the drinking, right? Well, why am I drinking so much? Well, what else am I supposed to do? What else did we used to do? Oh, that's all we used to do, right? And so that mentality fueled it. I was having like, my nightmares were fucking kind of insane at that point, and I wasn't sleeping. If I was going to sleep sober for the next day, right? Because I had class the next day. I would have class at fucking 8 in the morning, shit, like 5 days a week, right? Because I was going to school full time at this time, and so I'd have early classes in the morning, and so I would try to get some sleep, right? Try to not drink tonight, and I'm gonna be sober so I can be well rested in the morning to go to class. Well, I would toss and turn for hours and hours and hours, and then when I would fall asleep, I would have crazy fucking nightmares uh, about being alone in the fucking battlefield, right? Imagine being alone on mission, dude. Like, fuck. Those are the nightmares that I was having.
Yeah, like without your weapon.
Yeah, without your weapon, without your radio,
You just show up there.
without,
You're like, how the fuck did I get here? And
yeah,
why am I
yeah,
here? And where the fuck is everybody at? Yeah,
yeah,
I've
like,
been there.
yeah, dude. And so those are the nightmares that I was having, and it was like a night. It was whenever I would try to go to sleep without drinking, right? So when I wouldn't drink, I would have these insane fucking, like, night terrors and shit. Wake up gasping for air and all that kind of stuff. And so what would I do? Well, how do you solve this problem, right? After I wake up from this fucking nightmare in the middle of the night, what do I start doing? Drinking myself to sleep, right? And so that was like my only medicine that I had for myself at that time. That's the only medicine I knew to give myself. Okay, well, let me drink half of this fucking bottle of liquor that I bought, and let me try to go back to sleep. And so that's what I was doing. And so I was going to fucking class all fucked up, all still wasted, trying to, like, pay attention to some professor at another PowerPoint, right? Like, sitting
Yeah,
through
like,
another
oh my
PowerPoint and
god.
oh my God, dude. And I'm like, I'm still fucked up. I'm still wasted. You know what I mean? So my my grades and shit were shitty, and didn't feel like I was getting any victories there, any wins there. The relationship was fucking falling apart because of that, because of these collective things. Uh, what else? Oh, and then one after another that year, people that I knew and people that I was serving with were fucking offing themselves.
Hmm.
Plenty, like at least a dozen.
Yeah.
And so that really bummed me out that year too. I remember 2015, like worst year of my life. I remember hearing the news online on social media one after another. Like these guys are just dropping, and like fuck that guy, and then that guy. Like god damn. And so that was kind of on my mind too. That added to the shittiness that I was already feeling. And then what else? Some relatives, some close, some not close, but some family members that I had like grown up with and had good memories of. They were passing away in the family too, and so all this personal stuff was going on, and I had no other way of I don't know, getting any kind of comfort or any solutions or any good medicine or anything like that or any outlet, because it was different now. Now I was alone. Now I was a one-man mission now, because
Yeah.
let's go back to the military. Let's rewind back to the military. In the military, your whole fucking life could be falling apart around you. Your personal life, like you could be going through a fucked up divorce or separation or whatever. Your kids can fucking like despise you or whatever. Your dad could die back home or something fucked up in your personal life could be really, really falling the fuck apart. And shit, even in your fucking professional life too, you could get a DUI and get fucking demoted and shit on, like field grade Article 15. All this shit could be falling apart for you in your life. But like if you're in the fucking military, especially a combat platoon, what do you have around you? No matter what's going on, no matter what's going on around you, what the fuck? Who's around you?
Yeah,
How
you
many
bet.
people do you have around?
Yeah.
You got your bros around you, right? No matter how shitty the day is, like from 04 to like 2300 that night, it's been a horrible fucking day. I mean, did y'all have those horrible days in your fucking troop, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Where it was just one thing after another, was just like y'all just got shit on like nonstop that whole fucking day, and it sucked. And then y'all still had to go to fucking PT the next morning at 0630. There was no like, oh, just come back. No, it was like 0630 PT. Fuck you guys, right? There was plenty of days like that, right? At
Yeah.
Fort Hood,
Oh yeah.
especially, or
Absolutely.
downrange, especially.
I mean, you knew our platoon
What?
sergeant.
Yeah. So, and so, what did y'all have? What did we have around us that whole time that it was fucking horrible, that it was shitty, that everything was falling apart personally and professionally? What did we have around us? Our fucking bros, our support
Always.
system, our
Yeah.
community, always. And so no matter what was going on, it was fucking hilarious because somebody was roasting you for it, right? Or you were roasting each other for it, and just kind of kicking each other in the balls, metaphorically and physically, just nonstop. It was great because you knew that when you go to formation, you're going to go with your bros and it's going to be fine. You're all going to smoke and joke about it, and y'all are going to continue on with the day, and it's not going to bother you. It's going to roll off your fucking roll off, and you're going to come back the next day, and it's going to be a new day, and it's going to be great. And so fast forward in time, 2015, I'm alone. I'm the only one. I'm not at the unit anymore. I'm not going to go to formation anymore. I can't call my bro that lives right down the fucking street anymore, or I can't go down the hallway in the barracks to
Mhm.
my bro that lives right down and 3 doors down from me, and I can't go have a drink with him anymore, or them, or all these guys that I would go see. They're not there anymore. Nobody's around me anymore. I'm alone. I'm a one-man mission. And so all this personal stuff and school is fucking, just everything is just kind of burning down around me, and I don't have that anymore. That's the thing I didn't have. I was like, fuck, I don't have that support element, that community anymore. This is it. This is me. I'm alone here, and this, I don't really have I don't really have a good answer of how I'm going to I don't know, deal with this shit. I don't have any real solutions yet. I didn't know any solutions at that time. What else? I think that was the hardest thing, is that all this shit was falling apart around me, and I didn't have that support element anymore. It was just me now. It was just me with the mirror, right? And I didn't have this guy and this guy and this guy and all these other motherfuckers to kind of, you know,
Yeah,
to
man.
shoot the shit with anymore and just kind of pass the time with. You don't have that anymore. I think that's the worst part about it. And so
Yeah, man. Like life goes on, you know, like everybody kind of just seems to, I mean, and it's at no fault of their own either. It's just kind of, you know, people go their own ways. You get out of the army, you leave the company you were in, and your group gets different. You know, those boys around you get different, and sometimes they're closer, sometimes they're not. But yeah, man, it's definitely definitely a good thing you found that, you know, the whole art community and everything to kind of start bringing you out of all that. And then, you know, it's especially good that, you know, you met your wife and now you're married and kid, and I think what kid on the way as well, right?
Yep.
So
Yep.
yeah, man,
I got fire.
that's that purpose right there, dude. That's the ultimate purpose.
Yeah,
You know what? Huh?
I got a question. During your so during, it's like, you know, when, you know, you found that you found that outlet of, you know, just putting your thoughts on canvas, and you know, during that journey, afterwards of, you know, selling your paintings and your artwork, did you ever feel like, because you're putting, you know, you're putting your thoughts, you're kind of, what am I trying to say, like you're you know, you're releasing what's in your head onto these beautiful pieces of artwork. Did you ever feel like you were, or how did you feel when people say, oh, that's cool, you know, or if like, and you were like, you know, like you drew or painted something that reminded you of a dark moment, and then and you know, someone comes along, you know, a customer or someone's like, that's cool. Like how does that stuff make you feel? Like you're in a sense, like your projection of pain is beautiful to someone else.
Sure. It's very, very surprising. First of all, it's surprising because, like I said, I never expected my artwork to ever be accepted or liked by fucking anybody, right? Because it was, yeah, it's some crazy shit. And then, especially the earlier stuff, it was really dark, really fucking morbid, a lot of bloody shit, a lot of fucking death, a lot of carcasses, a lot of fucking morbid, fucked up shit. And I was showing this stuff to the public, and
Yeah.
I would kind of set up, and I'd be like, God damn, like I don't think like this ain't gonna do well, like fucking A. And to my surprise, people were like, dude, this is fucking badass, man. Like, you know, especially other combat veterans and shit, especially those guys, especially these, you know, our caliber of characters would come up to the tables, and they really fucking dig it. And really, the feedback was so fucking positive, that it really surprised the shit out of me at first, but then it also validated what I was doing. It was validating as fuck because, I hear a lot of guys, they would tell me like, this is exactly how I feel, or this is what I
Yeah.
see. This is reminding me of shit that I've been through. And so, you know, like, they would, you know, I get a lot of the comments of like, I'm not artistic at all. I don't have a creative bone in my body, but this is fucking awesome. There's somebody out there that's expressing this. This is exactly how I feel about this. It's very validating, and it's gratifying, and it helps me realize like I'm doing something that matters here. I'm doing something a little bit important, and I'm gonna keep doing it because, I feel like that's important, because I didn't know how to say it before either. You know what I mean? There was a time
Yeah.
where I just had no fucking clue, that I could kind of use this little hobby of mine or whatever to kind of, to create an effect like that. I had no idea that it was going to have any sort of positive impact like that, but it did, and it's really fucking, gratifying and validating. And so, yeah, that's how it feels.
Has
Surprising and validating.
has I mean, and you said like, you know, your artwork in the beginning was very dark, and I'm sure that transitional moment in your life after the military, have you purposefully gotten away from that, or is just that is your mind just Is it freely getting away from that? Is that a purposeful move? Like you getting away from that darkness?
Um, it's always been there.
Hmm.
I'm a big I'm a big fan of metal. I've always been influenced by heavy metal and heavy metal artwork and heavy metal art album covers and posters and T-shirts and stuff like that. And so I love that kind of art. That kind of art draws me in, right?
Yeah, I think
It's the
that
kind
stuff's
of shit
cool
that
too.
it inspires me first, and that's the kind of stuff that I kind of aspire to create. But then uh, it kind of it kind of collided. It was like a mixture, right? Like in my head, it was like a mixture of like my influences from earlier life and now colliding with my now fucking experiences from my life now is mixing with all of that, and these images are what's coming out of that,
Hell
right? Yeah, it's and it's heavy, man. It's heavy. It's heavy metal artwork, I guess. There was one. There's one that I can remember in particular that it was like that dream that I had. It was called Radio Silence. I named the piece Radio Silence because it was a dream that I was on mission and I was a team leader at this time, and I start off with my platoon and we're dismounted and we're charging towards an objective, and everybody's getting in position, Roger, move forward. And I'm on the radio, and so we're moving forward and we're moving forward, and now it's like time to really like go and assault this objective, and I'm trying to reach everybody on comms. Hey, this is Sapper 3-2 Golf, where's everybody at? And then, yo, Sapper 3-2 Golf, any station this net, any station this net, Sapper 3-2 Golf, radio check. Nothing. Sapper 3-2 Golf, anybody, hey, can anybody hear me? Where's everybody at? And so like, yeah, and so I get up out of this little, this covered position or whatever, and I fucking look for everybody, and I'm like, I'm out there alone. There's nobody out there. It's completely fucking silent. I don't hear anybody on the radio. And so that's what I kind of wake up from. And I painted that. I painted that fucking dream. And
That's fucking deep.
that's the kind of shit that people they get drawn towards the more fucked up shit or the darkest, hardest shit that it was for me to kind of spiritually and emotionally fucking experience. And then I get that down on a canvas or something, and that's the one that people like. That's the one that it speaks the loudest to the viewers or to I guess the audience or to the people that are there. That's the one I get the most questions about because they can see what I'm trying to kind of communicate or whatever. It's funny how that the darkest, most horrific fucking feelings, they speak the loudest, like visually, and it communicates the loudest to people that they've never even met me or they've never seen my shit before, and that's the first one that pops out to them every single time.
And like,
Oh, go ahead.
I mean, like you said, that's got to be super validating, and getting those responses and feedback from those from that painting or those paintings, like does it kind of take away from the feeling of loneliness?
Yeah, absolutely. It makes me feel like I'm not the only one. I'm not the only crazy guy. I'm not the only crazy person. Especially when I start talking about my experiences and kind of what I'm going through or what I have gone through and what I am currently going through now. And the more I talk about it, the more I find that there's thousands of us out there. I mean, there's a lot more of us out there, but like I said, not everybody knows how to get all that shit out. Nobody knows. A lot of people don't have that. They don't have an outlet. They don't know what to do to kind of get all that shit out. Everybody just fucking drinks their pain away, man. And drinks their sorrow, drowns their sorrows in fucking alcohol, and that's all they really know how to do. Because, like I said, what do you do in the military?
It's a trained behavior at that point.
Yeah. And so, yeah, so it's been a neat experience. It's for sure.
Hell yeah. Where do you see a Ghost Custom Art in the next 10 years?
Fuck. Hopefully hopefully making a lot more of my murals, painting a lot bigger murals for a lot more money, and selling some fucking badass t-shirts and some badass merch and apparel.
Fuck yeah.
And I want it to be my full-time job, because right now it's not my full-time job, but I would really, really like it to be my full-time job, and I would like a nice commercial fucking industrial warehouse or something, so I could just produce all fucking day every day and just like mass produce shit, screen print shit, and mass produce artwork, stencil artwork. I believe I could really. There's a lot more ideas in my head that I can't keep up with them, right? So every painting that I do, I'm getting one idea out, but I'm like multiplying more ideas from that painting or from that cool fucking image. Oh fuck, I already thought of 25 other paintings that I want to do. So I can't keep up with right now at this current pace, I can't keep up with all the shit, all the ideas that I have. So I keep a sketchbook, right? I sketch down an idea real quick just to kind of make a record of it and say like, this is what I thought of, this is what this is what it's trying to convey or express, and I move on to the next page, and I just kind of do another sketch of another idea, and it just fills up the sketchbook really fucking fast. And yeah, like I said, if I could just dedicate my full time and attention to something like that, I could get all those out and crank all those out, and it would be a really fun time, man. I want to do bigger stuff too. I want to do like fucking 5-foot paintings and shit and fucking sell them for shitloads of money. That's the dream. That's the dream right now. But right now I'm still doing smaller murals and small paintings and commissioned pieces and things like that. While I can, like with the time that I do have,
With the you mentioned it earlier. I was curious. With your designs for the grunt style t-shirts, do you get paid commission on those too?
Yeah.
That's sweet, dude.
Is this one of them? I forgot I had this on.
No, that's one of mine.
Yeah, see, I got this. I bought this one too.
Hell yeah. Yeah. So that one's one of mine. That one's just my. I did that on my own. I got those t-shirts made and I freaking sold them. And so I would like to have more t-shirt designs, I would like to have like 10 fucking different designs at once on a website, so I could just fucking
Shopify them, dude.
Yeah,
I got it.
well,
We just signed a sponsorship with a t-shirt guy, dude. I can put you in touch with him.
Okay, so
pre-sales.
So all right, so somebody needs to be there to fucking to manage all that shit, right? Okay, and then somebody needs to be there to design the t-shirts, and somebody needs to be there to get them printed and make sure the prints are good,
true.
make sure the fucking okay, and then somebody needs to be there to pick them up from the whatever, or like if they get them, okay, you get them shipped to your house. Okay, now I got to take them out and label all the fucking sizes and ship them all out to the right. So it's a very, like the whole podcast thing. It's great sitting there on a microphone, and that's like the 10% of the fucking podcast that you have to do. Everything else is behind the scenes, right? Everything else is like the shit that's not, I don't know, not filmed or not recorded particularly. There's a lot of fucking work still to do after that. And I feel okay, because I've kind of dabbled into the full-time artist thing, man. Full-time artist sounds really cool. It sounds fucking awesome, but I found that when I was a full-time artist there for a short time, I was working more than I'm working now. I was working more than I've ever worked in my whole life, right? Because everything you do is job related. Everything you do relates back to your job. Every trip you make, every consultation, every supply run, every meeting you have with people, everything is a networking meeting. So you're constantly working. Everything you're doing constantly relates back to your full-time gig, and it's a lot of fucking. It's a 24-hour job, man. I was working a lot, especially when I do murals. When I start a mural job, if it's an outdoor mural and I have just access and I just pull up to it with my vehicle, I work long hours on that mural, especially in the summertime, because I try to make use of the nighttime, because painting that mural during the day is fucking brutal in the summertime in San Antonio. So what else? The band, I got the metal band. So that's pretty good. That's That's going very well.
Hell yeah. Shout them out. What's that called?
Yeah. We're called Incurvatus, and we've been together for about 5 years now. We've got one good song recorded, and we're about to start another song. We're about to get another. We're about to have 2 songs recorded, and then we're gonna, once we get those, I think we're gonna start looking into fucking Spotify and all that other shit.
Hell yeah, dude. Get that shit out.
Yeah,
Do it.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, so
Where can
that's fun. It's good.
where can people like buy your prints and stuff?
Good question.
Right now I don't really have a lot of prints.
Okay.
I've been kind of slacking on the print stuff lately because I haven't been doing too many shows because I've been working full time and I'm out on the road most of the time.
Oh yeah.
I don't have a website or anything that shows people the prints that I do have, like the inventory and all that kind of stuff, which would be awesome to have, right?
Not
Not yet. And so if anybody wants to see any of the artwork or message me directly about any potential artwork that they might want, they could always just get on the Facebook page or the Instagram, or email me directly. Email is probably better than all those other social media platforms. The email is probably good.
That was a ghostcustomer@gmail.com.
Yep, that's it.
Hell yeah. Well, hey, do you have like a piece that's like your piece that you'll never get rid of, or like let anyone have? Do you have that? Like
I have a couple that are very, very expensive because I don't really want to sell them, right? They're for sale. There's a price, but that price is very, very high. If you want to buy, I have 2 actually like that. There's 2. If you want to buy either of those paintings, you're going to put both of my daughters through college.
Hell yes.
Fucking worth it.
If you pay for any one of these paintings, it's gonna be full tuition for both of my daughters, full room and board for both of my daughters. If you buy one of these paintings, because that's how much I'm like attached to it. There's one called Immaculate Evisceration, right? So you think of the Virgin Mary, Immaculate Conception, right? So there's one I did of the Virgin Mary. I actually got it like tattooed on me later on in life. I don't know if you can see it. Fuck, here.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
It's like that. So it's like the Virgin Mary. It's got her guts exposed. She's got like the razor wire, the halo with the razor wire with the 7.62 rounds. And then the dogs are eating her guts. And so I did that as a painting. And that was after I came back from Iraq. I had this idea of like, fucking compassion and empathy and mercy and all that kind of shit was kind of smashed out of me from that deployment, just from learning human nature and all the fucked up shit about human nature and the capacity of what human beings can fucking do to each other, the limit to what, like, there's no limit to how fucked up we can treat each other. And so I learned a lot from that fucking first deployment about like, oh yeah, then my idealism kind of went away too. And the realities of what we were doing, and the realities of the situation were kind of setting in and just kind of erased all of that about me. And so as a symbolically, I used the Virgin Mary kind of split open, eviscerated out on the road with Iraqi dog, because remember those Iraqi dogs would fucking eat anything. They would eat camel carcasses and dog carcasses that were on the side of the road, and you just see these filthy fucking dogs everywhere. And that kind of stayed in my mind. I used the dogs of Iraq to just kind of be eating the guts of the fucking Virgin Mary eviscerated. So I have that painting that I never want to get rid of, which is awesome. And then the second one is called Duality. You can check it out. Duality is it's 2 faces. It's like one facing this way, one facing this way. One of them's like that the human head. He's like screaming this way, and the other one's like a skull face, and it's screaming the other way. And one of them says on the helmet, it's like, can't Can't wait to leave. I wish I could stay on the helmets. And so that one's kind of like about it's about exactly what I was saying earlier about while you're on deployment, you can't wait to fucking go home. Like you're kind of fatigued, you're kind of tired, you're kind of burnt out on deployment, and you can't wait to leave and get the fuck home so you can party your balls off, right? Just like hang out with your friends and you know be safe again back home in the comforts of your home again, right? So you miss that when you're downrange, but then when you come home, you miss being downrange.
Oh yeah.
You want to be downrange again, like so bad, like you just would pay money to go fucking back downrange, right? So that's what that painting is about. That's what duality is about. It's like you're fucking stuck in two worlds at the same time.
I actually pulled up your Instagram just now when you said you could check it out, because I was like, you know what? I'm pretty sure I can show it off here. So
Okay.
window,
Maybe, I
yeah,
don't know.
I still can.
We'll see.
Oh, sick.
So yeah, dude, I can we could show off some of it. That looks like what you got behind you there, huh?
Yeah, I got the moth, that fucking bone moth. A lot of those are time lapse videos. What else? Yeah, that fucking, was it Maximum Effect Prayer? It's got the B-52 instead of a cross. It's a fucking B-52 bomber, and the beads of the rosary are fucking the payload of that bomber. So
That's
I've
sick.
always loved that. It's kind of like, it's like praying for war, man. I've always loved that one.
That's sick,
Great.
dude.
It's
We
a
gotta-
fucking mural I did for a buddy of mine at his real estate firm. So this time lapses, it's important that I do these because I mean people like to see the process.
Absolutely, dude. These are
what
cool
goes
ass
into the
videos.
fucking, it's not easy. It's a fucking, it's the hardest, most exhausting fucking job I've ever had in my life. But it's the most rewarding one. It's the most satisfying one. It's the one that makes me feel like I'm fulfilling my fucking purpose here on this earth. And so it's my favorite job that I've ever had. Right.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, that's a lot of we've talked to, we said earlier, we've had about like 15 sit down chats so far, and that's a lot of what the feedback that we've heard and had our other guests and friends and brothers shared to the veteran community is like, the biggest helpful tip that we can give anybody, all these veterans or service members getting out, is finding that purpose. Because like you said earlier, once you're out, you have no mission. There's nothing else to look forward to. So it's kind of hard to kind of get off the floor and go do something. So finding that purpose is super big, and I'm fucking glad you found it within something you love doing. So that's awesome, dude.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's crazy. It's a crazy story about like how I got kind of, talked into kind of living again, right? Because I was kind of like dead inside, I was just like this fucking carrion of a human being walking around, and just kind of soulless. I was very much without a fucking soul at this point in my life, and one of my old soldiers, one of my guys that I was in charge of in Germany, that we didn't have a great relationship. We weren't buddy buddies.
Yeah.
He was a subordinate of mine, and I was a shitty team leader at that time. But we knew each other, and we had each other on Facebook and shit. Out of the fucking blue, this is the last guy that I would ever expect to contact me about anything. Out of the blue, he contacted me. It was like, I don't know, it was like it's such a random thing that he gave me a message one night. I was drinking by myself again. And he messages me, "How you been? How you been doing, man?" And I'm like, "I've been shitty. It sucks. I feel like I want to just give up, dude. I don't want to do this anymore." And he's like, "Oh yeah, really? No, fuck. Well, hey man, you're all right. You're gonna be all right. You're kind of a, you're a smart guy. You're a tough guy. You'll be okay. I think it's gonna be all right." And that was it. That was like the conversation that I had with him. And I was like, "All right, dude. Well, thanks for that." And that kind of, I don't know, man, reignited the spark. I kind of woke up the next morning. I'm like, God damn, that was weird. Why this dude feel the need to message me? I guess he was looking at, I don't know, posts that I was making or not making or something. I kind of fell off the grid there for a while there because I was just, going, like, fell off the fucking wagon like hard, and I was a fucking mess, dude. And I had just kind of, I don't know, I just gone combo black out there for a minute. I guess he was just checking on me or something. I don't know. I need to contact that dude again. Like, why the fuck did you message me out of nowhere, dude? Like, what the fuck? Like, what compelled you to
Tell
get me
him,
that?
man.
And
Tell him what it meant to you. At this time, thinking
yeah,
back to it, man, that's huge. Just to someone that just randomly think about you when you're not doing, so hot, and just a
yeah.
random text from somebody, just, hey man, you're doing good. Could have potentially changed the direction of your life. And that's a fucking
Uh,
awesome thing.
I would say that it was something very noteworthy that sticks out in my head. That it's like a highlight of like, uh, kind of like a change in trajectory of where my life was going. It was kind of like down, 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 like this, and then I got that kind of like little call or whatever, and it just kind of started smoothing things out for me from that point. And I was like, I never really asked him or never really talked to him very many times after that again to kind of see what the fuck. But I guess thinking about it now, I guess I should probably message the guy.
Hell yeah.
That's cool, dude. Hey, like one question we like to ask everyone before, like as we're wrapping up, like, mental health is a big topic. We talk, it's like our main talking point and stuff like that. Transition.
Sure.
It's always, I'm not a medical professional, but it's not something I don't believe mental health is something that can be cured. It's something that we live with, and it's something we have to work on how to deal with every day.
Sure.
So what is, as far like, do you have any advice out there for our brothers and sisters in arms or veterans? Like, what would be your one key piece of advice as far as like mental health or anything veteran related, like, transitioning out of the military, mental health, or finding purpose? What would be one keynote thing you would give to a random veteran today?
A really big fucking thing that helped me in my journey, is trying to help others out. Trying to still, no matter what the fuck is going on in your life, no matter how much of a disaster your fucking life might seem like it is, there's always somebody out there that's going through something way more fucked up than you are. And so you always have to remember that. You always have to keep that in mind when you interact with the general public, right? So anybody you meet, you have to remember to try and be kind and respectful and nice to people. And you have to try to actively go out there and try to help people out. And I fucking 1000% guarantee you that good shit will start happening to you. It'll put some positive energy out there in the world, like karma or whatever. The universe will start bringing positive shit back to you in your life if you actively get your ass up, stop fucking drinking, turn that fucking Xbox off, go outside, go out into the world, and try to help somebody. Try to find somebody that needs a little bit of help and help that person. Continually just try to go out of your way to lend a hand, and throw that positive energy out into the world, because that has helped me fucking tremendously in my journey. I think, a lot of the good shit has happened to me is because I don't know, man. I try to remember that. Try not to be a fucking dick, and try to remember that somebody's going through some fucked up shit out there too, way more than you are, and try to help them out, and that'll start to make things a little bit better. You'll find something that fuck, I don't know. You'll find a spark. I don't know. It'll re-spark something in your brain. It'll start giving you some ideas of like, what the fuck I'm supposed to do here. What am I trying to do with my life, or what am I good at? It'll give you some ideas, and it'll start generating some fucking positive shit in your mind and in your emotions and shit. You start to feel a little bit better about yourself too.
Oh yeah.
Because I felt like a fucking piece of shit about myself during that whole dark fucking period of my life. I felt like a low life fucking piece of shit. And so when I started changing my attitude around and being a little bit more positive and trying to find ways that I can lend a hand and be more helpful to people, that's when just everything started changing. It's a mindset thing. It's a attitude thing too. So, but you have to actively work on it. Like you said, it's a proactive thing. So you physically have to get up off your ass and you have to physically proactively go fucking do some good shit out there. So fucking do it. Nobody's telling you to do it, right? Nobody's calling you on the phone and telling you to fucking do it. You have to have some kind of inner intestinal fucking fortitude to tell yourself that you have to go out there and do some shit like that. And so that's what I would that's the biggest thing that I would say that helps out a lot.
Hell yeah, dude. Selfless service is kindling for the soul for sure. I definitely agree with you there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wholeheartedly.
Well,
Sorry, I just keep looking at your shit over here.
What else you got, man? What else you got?
Dude, I think I mean for this one, I think that's going to be pretty much it. Unless there's anything that you really kind of wanted to cover or something you wanted to specifically talk about as far as experiences go. I mean, we definitely want to have you back on in the future to kind of like check up on you, have a part 2, see how you're doing, see how the website's going.
See if I got the website up.
No. See how it's going. No.
See how it's going.
No,
Fuck,
just
man.
kidding, man.
It seems yeah. Anyway.
No, man. I think I really appreciate you coming on. I mean, I messaged you and you were pretty much right away like, oh hell yeah, I want to be a part. And
hell yeah, man. We
appreciate that, dude. And I really appreciate you sharing your story with us. And definitely glad that you found, that art community that kind of in turns, brought you to what your purpose is now, which is, that family. And it's huge for us because, a guy, this whole thing kind of started, the same thing you said, that rough year of kind of too many people not talking about their shit and, opting out. We don't want to do that again. We don't want to go through any of that.
Yeah,
so, I mean, no matter what, no matter where, you're always going to be part of, this community, this small community that we've built now. And, we'll add you to the little secret squirrel group, and you got the network there to use and sell some artwork, do whatever you want with it. And we just appreciate you being around and chatting with us, man. So thank you so much.
Sure.
And everybody else, you guys have a good night, and we're just gonna check you guys later.